we're gonna go with three guys that each of us will share that we expect to have a breakout season. So this means that they are going to exceed their ADP. They are going to exceed even what fantasy experts are ranking them as. And this will be their first season to really get into that next level, that next tier. We're not talking about rookies, we're talking about guys having that breakout season. And so speaking of the Chiefs, I think you're going to lead off with someone from the Chiefs. So Harrison, give me your three guys.
The three guys that I'm expecting to have a breakout season are Isaiah Pacheco, Drake London, and Khalil Shakir. Now, the first guy, Pacheco, I think is going to be fantastic this year. He's going as the running back 11 in drafts. But over the last 10 years, we've seen that running backs that play in a top 5 NFL offense finish as an RB1 56% of the time. So that bodes well for Pacheco already, just being in the Kansas City offense. But the biggest thing for me is that Jerick McKinnon is no longer on the Kansas City Chiefs roster, which has been, a thorn in people's sides for drafting Isaiah Pacheco because he comes in, he steals all the receiving work. Now that he's gone, we saw last year in the 4 games without McKinnon, Pacheco have 5 receptions per game, which is, if you stat that over a full season, he's going to be a top 10 running back. We also saw from week 11 on last year, he was averaging 18 carries per game, 4 receptions per game, for 115 total yards and almost 1.5 touchdowns per game. They really rode him at the end of the year, especially in the playoff run. He was getting 20 plus carries per game in the playoffs. You talk about the Super Bowl hangover and all these new wide receiver weapons coming in, which we just mentioned, who's going to really sort out who's the number one target. The number one factor in the offense should be the run game, and it should be Isaiah Pacheco. That's what they should lean on early in the season. And I also think bringing in all those weapons opens up more of a running lane for him. You can't have an extra safety in the box. You got to go back to 2 high safeties when you now have, burner speed in Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown as deep threats. Isaiah Pacheco, I think, has the opportunity and both the skill set to really perform and finish maybe even as a top 5 running back this season.
I like it. Interesting. All right. So let me give you my 3 guys that, here are my 3 players that I expect to be breakouts this season. I will start with Buffalo. Dalton Kincaid. He's going to be the number 1 option for Josh Allen in the passing game this season. I believe it. We saw it when he finally came in last year. He pushed Dawson Knox to the side. Knox got a little injured, but Kincaid comes in. He showed the talent. He didn't really get into the end zone. So his fantasy numbers weren't huge, but this year they're going to need him to be a touchdown machine. And when they get down there, I believe they are going to find him. Stephon Diggs is gone. The rookie Keon, he's going to be all right. Keon Coleman, he'll be fine, but give him time to develop. I know you like Shakir. Shakir will be a nice weapon as well. But the most talented guy, he's a first round pick last year. He's coming off of his rookie season. Dalton Kincaid, 6'4". He's this next, I think he's the next great tight end. I really do. You can get him in the 5th, 6th round in fantasy drafts. I love that value. So Dalton Kincaid is my tight end. My running back is Jaylen Warren, and my receiver is Rashid Shaheed. I still can't believe he's going in drafts at wide receiver 56. This guy, he showed flashes last year, but he is going to be even more involved in this offense. And we like Chris Olave, but Shaheed, more involved. Mike Thomas gone. I love the opportunity for Shaheed this year. I mean, so fast. They're going to use him on this new kick return style too. But he's just going to be more a part of the offense, a big weapon. And then Jaylen Warren in Pittsburgh. So I'm out on Najee Harris. The time is now. The offensive line is better. I think, George Pickens is great in the passing game. I like Pat Freiermuth, but they need to run the ball. The Steelers will run the ball, rely on their defense, rely on a strengthened offensive line. And between Harris and Warren, it might be a 1-2 punch, but this is the breakout season for Jaylen Warren. We thought maybe it would happen last year. We saw it a little bit. This is the year where they finally turn it over and go, Warren's the better back. Warren's our guy. Let's go Jaylen Warren. So 3 breakouts, Dalton Kincaid, Jaylen Warren, Rashid Shaheed. Those are the guys you want. 2 bonus ones, I'll throw in Chase Brown, which I've already mentioned on this podcast so far this season. And then I still like Tyjae Spears as a second-year guy in Tennessee.